GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, Dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered. And that's MVS and Justin Watson with some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues. If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow, comma, semicolon, period, next sentence, to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man JRich.
Is that
yes? Let's go! So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up. We're Ray
and Jay
in the morning.
My God.
How good is he? How good is he? Let's go. GMGP. It is Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. Y'all decided to wake up with me, with JRich, and y'all know what we got tomorrow, baby. The NFL. We back, baby. JRich, football is here. Thursday night football, Philly versus Dallas. We're back in the full swing of it. College football in full effect after week one this past weekend. Your boy Bill Belichick looking a little fraudulent in the light, JRich. We got a lot to talk about, but we got the people in the building. What's going on? Jacob, it is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful damn day. Ray and Jay, what's up, Ja Webb? Salute to you. My guy, Tyler Trout in the building. What's happening with you, Tyler? GMGP to you, big dog. What's going on? Who else we got in the building? Cash me out. GMGP to you, James Young. Terrell, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Take that fly Eagles fly crap out of here, Terrell. We back in the season. It's Cowboys. We're going to get it done, JRich. It's our year. It's our year. It's our year, baby. It's our year. Doubtful, but it's all good. Leo Scott in the building. Adam Zav. Dill, what's going on with you, man? Esquire, what's going down, big dog? Appreciate y'all being in the building. We got a lot to talk about today. We got depth charts. We got Arch Manning, the fraudulent Heisman Trophy odds-on winner. We'll probably touch on that at some point. Your boy Travion Anderson, JRich, third on the depth chart in New England.
Yes, sir.
It's over. Third on the depth chart. Bill Krosky Merritt, fifth on the depth chart, where they got Jeremy McNichols over old Bill Krosky Merritt. We got a lot to talk about, man. But if you missed any of the content on the channel, for real, we had a lot of stuff popping over here on my channel on DDFFB. Make sure you check out my show on Yahoo, Data Dump with Matt Harmon. Week one went live yesterday. We were live with the people talking through just some interesting statistical nuggets that you need to have on your radar as we head into week one. I will be live on Yahoo with Harmon every Tuesday this fall, every single Tuesday. So we get the Sunday night games out the way. We get the Monday night football game. And then Harmon and I are talking through the important data dumps type shit from the weekend on the show. So be there. Woo! Big dumps. Big dumper, JRich. No Cal Raleigh.
Damn right it.
No Cal Raleigh, but big dumper, man. Data dump with Matt Harmon. Make sure you check that out. And last night, man, our friends and partners over at Dynasty Daddy, I did a trade show, live Q&A with Jeremy and Will over there with Dynasty, the Daddy. So go to Dynasty-Daddy, dope resource to sync up your leagues, do your drafts, trade analyzer, power rankings, all that good stuff. And then if you're not a sick individual and you don't just sit there and watch college football all damn weekend long, every single week I'll be doing a stock watch after every single week of college football, who's rising, who's falling after that week of college football action. Some interesting names here in the 2026 class, JRich. We'll probably get to those a little later in the show. We got a lot of NFL to talk about, but Mr. Richards, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've been having a good week, good weekend. Obviously, we had Monday off. Very excited for today. But we have to get the show started on the right note. So for the people, make sure you wish Mr. GQ a very happy birthday. Happy birthday, my friend. It is your birthday. I didn't forget. But your wonderful wife did remind me yesterday to make sure I brought it up on the show so everybody all across the world can wish you happy birthday. So happy birthday to you, my friend.
Appreciate it, man.
And I hope and I'm thankful that it did not come tomorrow when the Cowboys will probably lose by 20 or 30 points. But happy birthday. How are you feeling?
Unnecessary.
You seem like you're in a bit of a somber note this morning. You know, you thought about sitting down for the show. I was like, maybe he's got some birthday blues. I get birthday blues personally almost every single year. But how are you feeling on your birthday?
Yeah, I feel good, man. No blues. I was trying a different angle. I normally stand up for every single show. Yesterday, I did the show seated. I don't know why. I was like, I just want to sit down today. And not a fan. I got to stand up. I need to be free. I need to move around.
You need to move around. Yeah, be free.
Thank you, man. 39 trips around the sun, JRich. 39. That big 4-0 is coming, baby. That big 4-0. It's 360.
Next year's show is gonna be a big one. Yeah, next year's show is gonna be a big one.
It's gonna be a big one. But I appreciate you. Appreciate the love, wifey, and appreciate everybody in here. Yeah, man. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Happy birthday. I see people. Dark Side Dev, Cowgirls down bad. Get out of here, Dark Side. Don't start that shit.
Dark Side's back. I haven't seen Dark Side in a minute. But Dark Side's back. Let's go.
Dark Side ain't been here since Shador was relegated to that third. I accepted it early and just moved on. But I appreciate Dark Side being in the building. But Jay, injury news. Is there anything? I think the big thing for me that I'm kind of tracking and following injury-wise, I saw this morning, Isaiah Likely not going to play week 1. I think that's pretty expected. He had the foot injury early during training camp, so no Isaiah Likely. But the Cyclops, that is Najee Harris, looks like he's going to suit up this week. You've got Mike Vrabel saying Diggs is expected to be on the field. We got the Miami Dolphins saying Achan still ain't really practicing, but he's going to be out there on week 1. No issues there. Where are we at with the injuries going into week 1? And then, of course, the back of Micah Parsons and potentially needing an epidural to play. So where are we at? Matthew Stafford is starting. His back is good. Seems like we got a relatively healthy start to week 1.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel too bad as far as injuries are concerned. I think the funny thing about a lot of these injuries is they feel more so like an annoyance than anything else. Like, of course, Najee's a full participant in practice, right? Because why can't he just sit out week 1? Why can't he have a ramp-up period? Nah, he's got to be available. He's got to play, and we don't get to see Omarion Hampton unleashed in this Chargers offense in Brazil. The question really is, does he play? And if he does play, how much does he play? Because this is probably one of the few circumstances where we look and we see full participant, but still question, like, can this dude actually see? Is he ready? Is he going to play? Because most of the time, it's questionable on Tuesday, full on Wednesday or Thursday, and they're good to go. But part of me is still hesitant over whether or not Najee's actually going to suit up and, more importantly, have a meaningful role that will take away from Omarion Hampton in week 1. What are your thoughts on this situation? And how do you feel about Najee Harris potentially suiting up for week 1, full participant on the Tuesday? I imagine they're traveling today or tomorrow to get to Brazil for the Friday game. But how do you feel about Najee knowing he fully participated in Tuesday's practice?
This one is, I have not seen, or at least it's felt like to me, and maybe it's because of that damn short we put out on the channel that's got like 250,000 views, that damn short about would you rather Omarion Hampton versus some other running backs. It's felt like his stature and status of being a first-round running back to the Chargers means nothing. Like people, I don't know why people are, for a player in Najee Harris that most folks were just kind of meh on, even though he's had, 3-4 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons, never missed a game in his NFL career. I mean, even when he signed the 1-year deal in LA, people are still like, if he's the only ticket in town, sure, he'll get volume. But it was like once they drafted Hampton, people got excited. And then when Hampton didn't score in that damn preseason game, it's like he's just gone downhill from there. And I know his ADP is still high because that's just what it is. The vibes that I feel from the community don't seem to match up to my expectations. Like, I expect Hampton to be really good. It's this idea that it's going to be him and only him in the backfield, probably never going to happen. You don't get a lot of those guys in the NFL to be the true carry the rock every down back unless you're Saquon or Henry or James Conner. So he was always going to share part of the running backfield load with Najee Harris or another running back that they had in place. It just seems like people are just they don't really care because he didn't make the splash. He didn't make the Travion Henderson level splash plays. I mean, not that Harvey did a whole bunch either. I mean, he scored a touchdown, but it just seems like the enthusiasm for Hampton it ain't there. How do I feel about Najee? The same way I felt about him when they signed him. Like, he's fine, but I'm not expecting some breakout season for Najee Harris here in LA. No way.
Yeah, Jaw Webb is saying keep an eye out for Najee vulture TDs on the goal line, and that, of course, wouldn't shock me either. But hopefully we do see, at least 15 carries from Hampton. Now, it'll kind of depend on how that game script plays out, because I wouldn't be shocked either if the Chiefs just ran away with this one, because it seems like they're very motivated this year. They'll obviously be without Rashee Rice, but knowing that Najee could be back, probably a split backfield, depending on whether he's available to play or not. But what do you want to get to next? Because Stafford being back is interesting, because we have been fading Puka a little bit. Do you have any concerns about Stafford, or is it kind of the same concerns as to he's healthy now, but is he going to actually be healthy for the whole season?
I mean, you got to roll with him. I mean, he's healthy now. He's ready to go, so that's what you roll with. There's nothing else to discuss. I think our big point of contention around Stafford is, would he be healthy? Would he be available in week 1? And right now, he's available. I mean, you're firing up everybody with confidence. Davante Adams, I'm excited to watch this offense. Of all the wide receiver rooms, I think we feel, or at least we expect in Detroit, Amon-Ra to be the leader, J-Mo to be the 2. We expect Jamar to be the 1, T. Higgins to be the 2,
right.
CeeDee to be the 1, Pickens to be the 2.
Get there, Ray.
Get
there. No, go all the way. Go all the way.
No, sir. No,
I know
sir.
you want to. I want to too. I believe it.
I don't. It's no Joe Hendry over here. I don't believe. It's still Puka Nacua as the 1 and Davante Adams as the 2. But I want to see how this plays out. Like, is Adams going to be the red zone guy? Like, I want to see.
No, he's going to be the red zone guy, because that's what he does. He's Davante Adams. He's a red zone monster. The one thing Puka doesn't do is score touchdowns. Now, is there enough volume for Adams to be the Rams' fantasy wide receiver 1?
Adams? Like the overall 1? No.
Well, let's not go to the overall 1, but the Rams wide 12. Receiver 1.
Oh,
like
the
Rams fantasy wide receiver 1.
I don't think I'm still riding with Puka Nacua. I still believe that he will be the team's primary.
Bunch of Puka Nacua truthers out here. That yards per route run, Ray. You just can't quit it. Just can't quit that 3.23 yards per route run.
It's good.
He's gonna do it again because he's just so good.
That Trinity is good, man. That Trinity is good. But I am excited to see. I am excited to see both of these guys operate in tandem with one another and understand that just because one is the 1 and one is the 2, man, I'm listening to a lot of it that people in the league talk about him as we don't mention him as a top 5 quarterback. Everybody else across the NFL landscape, I mean, Stafford's a top 5 guy in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like everybody else. So if he is that, and that back is okay,
when he's on, he looks like the best quarterback in the NFL.
Both of them should be really good. And I want to see it play out. I think there are a few situations going into week 1, Jay, that a lot of people are waiting to see how they play out. The Rams wide receiver core, I don't think that's as high on the priority list as, let's say, Chicago, and people wanting to see that Chicago Bears outlook with the offense. How are the targets going to look? Who's Caleb Williams' primary target earner going to be? Is it going to be Rome? Is it going to be DJ Moore? How involved will Colston, Loveland, and Kmet and the tight ends be? I think that is a room of all of the ambiguous offenses. I think that's the one that we have maybe not the most invested in, because those guys were never really priced super high, but everybody was drafting Bears. I mean, you drafted just about every damn Bears, and there was a point where Roshan and Kyle Monunga were getting drafted too. So I think I'm a little more curious about the outcome in Chicago than I am in LA. Here's the thing with LA. I know it's 2 guys. I know it's a consolidated target room. It's Puka and it's Adams, and that should just yield goodness for us in fantasy football all the way around with those 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where I feel so stupid that I'm not more bullish on this offense, but there is just the small concerns of Stafford. You know how high both of us are on this defensive line and how much better the defense should be this year and how much more competitive this Rams team should be, because we know they really struggled at times last season. And obviously the health of the wide receivers was a big talking point because Puka got hurt and Kupp was injured throughout the season. So we should see a much healthier team overall. But do you think that could hurt Khyren Williams at all? Because we've been fading Khyren just a tiny bit, and I'm curious to see if in the red zone, maybe they throw the ball a bit more than they ran it last year, simply because Adams is such a threat and Stafford puts up bigger numbers this year.
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, Khyren is who Khyren is. He's one of the, we talk about Henry and we talk about Saquon, we talk about James Conner is a bell cow. We talk about Josh Jacobs is a bell cow running back. That's Khyren Williams, dude. I mean, Khyren is, say what you want about his explosiveness, say what you want about his juking ability, say what you want about the long speed. He is just a volume-dependent monster. I mean, he just fumbles be damned. Kyron's going to be out there and he's going to gobble up 17-plus rush attempts every single week and then get a few targets. I'm not worried about him at all. Not worried about him at all, Jay.
Yeah, so in minor news, briefly, we did get Gabe Davis signed to the Bills practice squad. So Gabe Davis back with Josh Allen. Kind of actually don't mind that fit because we've seen him with success before. Buccaneers offensive tackle Luke Gadecki did sign a 4-year, $90 million extension, locking up that other tackle spot. Now, we do have still some concerns about Tristan Wirfs, Chris Godwin being injured, and then we'll see from there with that team. What's up?
The Godwin thing, I asked, shout out to Jeff Mueller, man. Does a lot of injury analysis for us. He does some stuff for 4for4. There's a video of I think it was the last Bucs preseason game. Godwin was walking out of the tunnel, and a lot of PTs and doctors were, of course, analyzing the gait, right? Watching him walk, and they were like, yeah, he's not dorsiflexing his ankle and foot. And I just asked Jeff, I was like, is this good? Is this bad? Is this on track? Is this on schedule? And he was like, dude, I'm really not expecting Godwin to play till like week 6, week 10. And then even then, like, he's probably not going to look like the last time we saw Chris Godwin. What he told us in our side of our Discord, highly recommend y'all get over there this year, this fall, patreon.com/allgas, $7 a month, get you in the building to a lot of dope shit. He said that, like, I'm not even thinking about Chris Godwin until 2026. Like, this year,
really?
He was like, he's a 2026 play.
Kind of a write-off.
I mean, they already said he's not going to play the first month of the season, so I don't know why people are still. What are you hoping to get out of that? I've got little interest in Chris Godwin this year, and I love the player.
I mean, the thing for people was he didn't go on the PUP, right? So there was the concern he'd be on the PUP, guaranteed miss the 4 games, didn't go on the PUP, and then Jason Light, the GM, said he's probably not going to be available till at least week 5. We knew he wasn't practicing until at least week 2. So we'll kind of see how that progresses going forward. But do you want to get into the big game? Because there is one big game. What's up? Go
ahead. What big game? There's still some player news that I want to talk to. I know you're trying
to. Who do you want to talk on?
Well, I mean, there are quite a few, man. Alvin Kamara. I want to talk about Kamara. Did you see the stuff that was going on with Kamara? And he was pretty pissed.
I saw he tweeted, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, he was pretty upset that they cut one of their.
The special teamer.
The special teamer. And then the Saints.
You know who they signed, right?
No, who'd they sign?
They brought back zesty Jake Haener.
Jake Haener's back.
Haener's back.
This is a team. Harmon and I were talking yesterday. I know people are saying Cleveland, the worst team in the league. Jay, I'm concerned about the Saints, man.
Since we're here, Ray, because I need this answer. I need you to help me here. How on earth am I going to lay 6.5 to the Arizona Cardinals on the road and feel good about it? Because they're 6.5-point favorites on the road in New Orleans. And there's no way in just about any circumstance I am trusting Kyler to cover that number.
With one of the lowest totals. I mean, the Saints implied team total is like 17 points in that game, JRich. It is
Spencer Rattler at quarterback. Maybe Kamara finds the end zone. How is this team putting up, let's say, 14 points, 10 points? Is Arizona's defense better? They drastically made changes to improve this defense. They brought in Josh Sweat.
Dude, they
drafted
Walter Nolan.
Nolan and Michigan cornerback.
Corner Will Johnson. They brought in Calais Campbell, Dalvin Tomlinson. Yeah. Like they really.
And Gannon is a defensive guy, right? From Blue Forget.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I'm with Stanley. And then Kamara put up the picture on his Instagram of him and Michael Tom. AK trying to get the hell out of town. The good old days. He's trying to get out of town, man. This Saints team is probably going to be pretty bad, JRich. I think it has the lowest total on the slate. Yeah, 6.5, over under 43.5 in this matchup. Patriots Raiders pretty low too. But go ahead, go to the big game, man. I just wanted to talk a little Khyren because I'm not Kyler, but Alvin Kamara, because it just seems like the vibes in New Orleans are even worse than that than damn Cleveland with the Browns, man.
I mean, the vibes in New Orleans are terrible. And that's what happens when you have no quarterback, right? If you had a quarterback, then maybe you think, okay, they can win a game here or there. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be shocked if they won the game because, as I said when we talked about Marvin Harrison Jr., I just don't trust this team. I don't know what they are. I like Jonathan Gannon. I do think that he's taken some strides to improve this team defensively, which they desperately needed. But offensively, they're still a work in progress, and I don't know what to expect because it hasn't seemed like they've made a lot of strides to improve offensively beyond simply trying to bring in some personnel, second year Marvin Harrison Jr. But schematically, they seem like a bit of a mess, and that's why I'm kind of a little bit nervous when it comes to that game, especially laying a 6.5. Yeah. It's just seems obvious with how bad the Saints are, but also like it's Arizona.
I got it.
But your Dallas Cowboys, Ray, are opening the season in Philadelphia. DraftKings has an 8.5 point spread. We've seen 7s, we've seen 7.5s, we've seen 8s, and apparently DK is laying 8.5 right now for your Dallas Cowboys, 47.5 point over-under. What the hell is going to happen in this game, Ray? What is going on in Philly tomorrow night?
I mean, the world champs are going to fly their banner, right? The world champion Philadelphia Eagles, they're going to fly their banner. Dallas is going to walk into this matchup without their all-pro defender, and we're going to get football. JRich, Cowboys, Eagles tomorrow night. Kickoff 8 p.m. Eastern. 8.5 points. 8.5.
That's what DK currently has. Yeah, 8.5. So more than the touchdown that was being laid earlier.
That seems quite high, but I expect the Philadelphia Eagles to come out there and look really good. I expect this offense, haven't heard a lot from any of the Eagles over the offseason, training camp, preseason. Yeah. Those guys haven't done anything. It's been a quiet camp from Philly, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's because they forgot how to play football. They're the world champs and they're handling freaking business. I fully expect Jalen Hurts to look sharp. I expect A.J. Brown to look sharp, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and of course, the number one overall player as voted on by his peers, Saquon Barkley, to look good and have his way against this Dallas Cowboys defense that's going to be a little bit of a, I like Kenny Clark in the middle, and he should improve the run game, but he just got there like a week ago, so...
Yeah. How much impact can he really have in his first game? I mean, maybe he can. It's just
from a fantasy perspective, from the fantasy football side of things, I think this is going to be a fruitful game. Both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball. Dallas is going to be put in a position where they have to score, man. They're going to have to. Dak Prescott is going to have to get the ball to his playmakers, and that starts with CeeDee Lamb. I believe CeeDee's last two performances against Philly were kind of pedestrian, but the two prior to those two, like he went nuclear. I'm gonna look it up right now. I think the last two were kind of pedestrian, and then he didn't play in, I believe, one of the games last year. But the two prior to the closest two, he went off. I fully expect both of these receivers to show out for Dallas. I don't expect him to win the game.
2 years ago, and then 6 for 71 isn't crazy in the second matchup in 2023. Then going into the 2024, I mean, I think one of them was late in that game. Yeah, one was late. He didn't play. The earlier one, I don't even think Dak was available in that game because it was in week 9. 6 targets or 6 receptions for 21 yards. So, again, but when Dak's not playing, he's not going to do anything regardless. Yeah. Because we just know this team's not. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Yeah. But do you have concerns about I think CeeDee's be fine, but the question really is Pickens, right? Because this is a team that got slacked by this team just last season.
Yeah.
They lost 41-7 late in the year. And I don't even know if Jalen Hurts played in that game. He might have played in that one. Now, the one that Dak missed, it was 34-6, right? So, again, the scoring wasn't there. Dak's obviously a massive part of that. But do you have any concerns that Dak really struggles against this defense? Because while, yes, they did lose pieces, I think where they are still extremely strong is in the secondary. And the secondary probably will be better than it was last year. It's just the pressure rate that they are able to generate won't be the same as it was last season. Now, it all kind of works together, but they will be probably pretty sticky in coverage and make Dak's life very difficult, even if he does have time in the pocket.
Man, there are people in the chat asking, are you starting Pickens? Pickens? Hell, dude. This is one, I think, Jay, and I would love the chat's opinion on this one. I think there are a few receivers in particular that the ADP of these guys currently, and I'm using underdog because that's get the most people and most data points kind of drafting, putting money on the line. There are a couple of receivers whose ADP never really quite caught up with, I believe, their projected opportunity. George Pickens is one of those receivers. I think he's at wide receiver 22 right now on underdog, wide receiver 22. Emeka Puka, his ADP, it moved.
29.
But he's still drafted like a wide receiver 3 for Tampa Bay. There was a couple of other guys, but Pickens and Puka really stuck out to me as two whose the ADP never really kind of caught up with, I believe, their projected opportunity. So looking at George Pickens in this matchup, hell yeah. If I were Philly, I'd be like, hey, man, you can't run the ball. Right, we're not afraid of Javonte Williams or Jadon Blue or Miles Sanders. We're going to shade Blankenship or Cooper DeJean over here to kind of bracket CeeDee, and then we'll leave whoever the number 2 corner is for Philly. Is Slay still there? Is it Slay and Quinion, or is Slay gone? Slay's gone, right?
Because they moved DeJean to safety, right?
Yeah, DeJean. So, I don't know where DeJean is playing, but I don't know who the Eagles number 2.
Quinion and Adoree Jackson is who they brought in to be CB2.
Dude. I'm very much
Adoree Jackson should be playing there. Well, do you think maybe they put Cooper, because Cooper's slated to play nickel right now. He probably won't match it with Pickens, but I wouldn't be shocked if they put Quinion on Pickens and then they work in tandem, because CeeDee will be in the slot as well,
that would be the dumbest thing right there.
You think so?
To let CeeDee Lamb just run ram shot over them. Everyone's saying in the chat, it's Keely, the cornerback 2 for Philly is a problem. Pickens is the one I think he's going to significantly outkick his coverage. I am give me George Pickens over a lot of these guys going into week 1.
Okay. Yeah, like, I mean, it's definitely seems like a weakness, right? It'll be Adoree Jackson or Ringo, depending on the formation. Sidney Brown, DeJean, and Blankenship will probably be in on all packages, right? Depending on where they're at. And then Quinion.
Who the hell is ahead? Who's ahead of Pickens right now? How is he wide receiver 22?
Let's get into it, right? Perfect segue into our Would You Rather for the day.
I get trapped
George.
I get trapped into this
because it's very topical. It's
you like him too, though, right?
And you've been extreme. I do like him a lot. You've been very bullish, and currently on underdog, he is wide receiver 22. So, would you rather? We'll do for the 2025 NFL season for fantasy football: George Pickens or Terry McLaurin.
For the whole season or for week 1? Are you
for the whole season?
The whole season. I'm taking George Pickens. I'm taking George Pickens over Terry McLaurin season long. Yeah.
Okay, next one: George Pickens or Xavier Worthy.
Pickens.
George Pickens or Davante Adams.
Oh, Adams. I'm taking Davante Adams over GP.
We would have Adams in probably our top 15 because
I'm taking Adams over Pickens. That wasn't even a thought. Adams over Pickens.
George Pickens or Garrett Wilson.
GP.
Okay, see, you said G, and it threw me off for a second.
GP.
Because there's also
not G-Dub, GP. George Pickens. Pickens over Wilson.
George Pickens or Tetairoa McMillan.
T-Mac walking into that $150 this year. I mean, he's walking into Adam Thielen, 137 targets in 2023. Rookie wide receiver George Pickens in Dallas with Dak Prescott. George Pickens over McMillan for 2025.
Okay, George Pickens or Mike Evans. You know, people like themselves some Mike Evans.
I would take Mike Evans.
Don't be on the wrong side of this
I would take Mike Evans.
You can't take Mike Evans. Now you took George Pickens last time.
Well, we haven't even done a would you rather with George Pickens. Mike Evans in this Tampa Bay offense without anybody there, like it's him and Puka. Like regardless of what you think about Mike long-term or dynasty value, like he's the number. It's not Puka. It's the number one target in Tampa Bay, tethered to Baker Mayfield, is Mike Evans. Like it's just with Godwin out for 6-7 weeks potentially. You got a broken neck for Jalen McMillan. Cade Otton. You see Otton is hurt. Like everybody is. Yep. We're talking about Mike.
Is Tristan Wirfs.
We're talking about Mike Evans. All the other pass catchers are hurt. And I don't believe that Tez Johnson or Sterling Shepard or Raheem Jarrett are coming in and pulling. It is going to be the Mike Evans and Emeka Egbuka show. It's those two guys with Mike Evans still being the number one target earner in a Baker Mayfield-led offense. It's Mike Evans, man. With all of them on the field, Godwin and Evans and Egbuka and McMillan, you could say, I'll take somebody else. But right now, you got to go with Big Mike, man. You got to go with Big Mike.
George Pickens or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I will go with Marv. I'm still in on Marv.
Who would you take for week 1?
Marv versus the Saints or Pickens versus Philly?
Yeah.
I really like George Pickens this week. I think he is going to finish quite high. I'm
you
very
think you have
much
Pickens in your top 12?
I don't know if I have him in top 12, but like top 15, I think that is well within his range this week against Philly. I still like Marv. Yeah. I'm not anti-Marv like a lot of people out there. He wasn't Jamar Chase in year 1, but I'm not anti-Marv.
Yeah, so above him, JSN, Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins, Ladd McConkey.
Patrick said, everyone said Pickens. This one, Pickens over Marv.
Yeah, Bruce is asking GP versus T. Higgins.
The
battle of the wide receiver twos.
Bruce, are they not the same? Like Dallas is literally
not the same.
No. Dallas's offense is literally set up to be the NFC version of Cincinnati. Jamar and CeeDee, those two are analogous, and then you've got George Pickens and T. Higgins running similar sort of in a similar role on those teams. I would take Joe Burrow and T. Higgins over George Pickens.
Just betting on the better quarterback.
Yeah, just betting on and Cincinnati. I just know what they're gonna.
You know what they're gonna do.
I know what Burrow and Cincinnati's gonna do. Week 1 versus Cleveland. I believe they play Cleveland week
tough.
1.
That's Cleveland. That'll be tough.
Yeah, you got Denzel and Jamar should be a great matchup, but I think I would still lean with T. Higgins. I'm really shocked that everybody in the chat said George Pickens over Marv easily. Wow.
People don't like Marv, right?
Yes.
They don't trust that Arizona
JR
offense.
Enterprise, absolutely. This question right here, do you have Pickens in the top 3 wide receivers in this game? I think he outscores. I think I'm going to still put CeeDee and AJ Brown as the top 2 pass catchers in this game, and then George Pickens would be my third. Yahoo wanted me to do this bold take thing, and I was close to being like George Pickens outscores CeeDee in week 1 because of the coverage and allocation of defensive resources to CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens has the better fantasy game in week 1. That was kind of my bold prediction for week 1.
100%.
That Pickens,
and it was the same case that you were making with the wide receiver 2, right?
Yeah.
Because CeeDee's going to see top coverage and double teams.
Probably.
If Pickens is single teamed and only facing one, like he can outperform drastically and could be the better option for Dak Prescott in this offense than throwing to CeeDee in double coverage all the time.
People say Kyler cannot be trusted. Wow. Chat, y'all are
where's Joe? Joe's got to be in shambles.
Okay, and then I see one here. Daniel says T-Mac, Adams, Pickens, Evans, Wilson last. Okay. JR Enterprise, Pickens is probably the 2024 version of T. Higgins. I think that's would that not be a great outcome for George Pickens in 20? I'm high on him. So clip it. I'm high on George Pickens this year, Jay. I think he's the third most productive pass catcher in this game, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it's reasonable. I'd be curious to see how it all kind of shakes out because he'll probably need a touchdown, I think, to finish in third. And so I think Smitty can score. I think AJ can score. I think Saquon can score. So I think that's the
he's
going to have to overcome, right? Is can he score that touchdown to kind of vault him into that top 3?
We got some O-line news, JRich. You want a little O-line, a little offensive line news 6 minutes ago. Let me make sure this is not fake news. This is going to impact those New York Jets. Ooh. Jets guard Alijah Vera-Tucker suffered a significant injury. Diana Rossini, is that who that is? Reported it's an arm injury. He's getting a second opinion, and Vera-Tucker might now need surgery, per sources. Alijah Vera-Tucker, former first-round pick. You know, this Jets O-line has got first-rounders littered all over the front, right? They've got the guy from Penn State, Olufashanu. You've got Alijah Vera-Tucker, and there's another first round.
Membu, didn't they?
Armand Membu. In the second round? Armand Membu. Was he first? I think Membu was the
second
first
round.
Was he second rounder?
He fell to the second round. I'm pretty sure he fell to the second round. I may be mistaken with that, but I thought he fell to the second round.
Okay, I thought Membu was a first. Neither here nor there. Jets down an offensive lineman potentially.
He was a first rounder in the 7th. He did go 7th overall. Wow.
Yeah, I thought I was going to say it was a first round.
I remember he was projected high, but I don't know why he thought he fell. So he did go 7th overall. He's going to play, it looks like, sorry, let me go back to the depth chart. He'll play right tackle. But yeah, Tucker was their starting right guard.
Right guard.
Xavier Newman is going to be filling in for that spot most likely. We'll see kind of how it all shakes out. But yeah, he's projected to be the backup guard for Alijah Vera-Tucker right now.
Yeah, this is... Rolling with Johnny, shout out to Roland. He said they went from bad to even more bad. It's a big injury.
How does this impact Justin Fields, right? That top 12 QB, Justin Fields, everyone's waiting for it. He's just going to run more now, right?
Here's
he
the
won't
thing.
have time.
I've got no qualm with Justin Fields, the fantasy asset. Zero. Not one time have we said that he can't score fantasy points. You know why? Because he's freaking dynamic with his legs, and he can run around. And, like the touchdown with his legs, the rushing upside that he gives you, he doesn't need to throw for 300-400 yards, which he's not going to do. Like, over under 300-yard passing performances for Fields this year. I'll set the line at 1.5.
Over under?
1.5.
1.5 is too high. Give me the under.
I'm not about to.
You consider that 0.5, and then I maybe consider the over. But
Anthony says trade Brees to the Cowboys. This is just not what you want to hear, 3 days before you take the field, your starting right guard potentially out for some time. That is, that's tough. People saying this dude's always hurt, not happy about it.
He's hurt a lot. Yeah, Ron Stewart actually posted his injury history. He's hurt a lot.
Oh, Vera-Tucker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toe sprain in week 9, torn tricep, torn Achilles 23, ankle sprain week 8. Yeah, he misses time every year.
Yeah.
So
well, I just saw that. I didn't want to, break the flow of the show, but there was some news that should impact fantasy to some degree. Let's
do you want to touch on your boy? Because we haven't talked about it yet.
Who?
The Coke Man.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Placed on pup.
Yeah,
out
Jalen
4
Coker.
weeks.
That was what a high for
so
about
random.
24 hours. We were feeling good. Right? We were feeling great for about 24, 48 hours. And then the news broke that he got hurt in practice. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Coker got hurt in practice. And, we were like, stock up. They cut this guy. Everyone's pumped. Coker out. They had to call Hunter Renfrow. Did you hear the story about the Dan Morgan trying to get in contact with Hunter Renfrow? Did you hear the story? His daughter was watching Bluey and just can't ignore
finding the call.
Yeah, get the hell out of here. I'm watching the sign right now on Bluey. I'm not answering this damn call from the Panthers, but Hunter Renfrow back, and you asked the question, would you rather Pickens versus McMillan? Like, Pickens is the number 2 for his team. Tedero McMillan is going to be the number 1 for Carolina. With Jalen Coker out, do you have increased interest in Xavier Legette? How are you feeling about Jatavian Sanders? How do you feel about Hunter Renfrow, Jimmy Horn, Bryce Young? Like, this was an ascending offense, I would like to say. That, the run game was awesome last year with Chuba Hubbard, and then you bring in Rico Dowdle. I think their left tackle, Ike Ekwonu, is still up in the air. I think he's a little banged up right now, their starting left tackle. But this was an offense that we were excited to see this year, and I believe Carolina opens with Jacksonville? Yeah, with Jacksonville, which we'll talk about Travis Hunter in a minute. Coker shares definitely stock down. What was the injury? Foot? Ankle?
Quad, apparently.
Quad.
Apparently it was a quad injury. Yeah, and that's one that could linger a little bit. Could take some time to get back.
Dude, it was quad,
so we'll
man.
see. Yeah, Canales said that it's going to be all hands on deck looking into Jalen Coker's quad injury history. Reiterates he's pleased with how Coker responded this summer. So it'll be interesting to see kind of like how this plays out. But if it is a quad injury, which is just, again, I'm just scrolling Twitter, so I could be wrong. But the fact he was placed on PUP almost immediately was not great. We didn't even hear anything about it. It was just, he's on PUP, see you in 4 weeks. Like all that Jalen Coker hype, gone. Just like that. But now getting into like the situation with the pass catchers,
that sucks, JRich. Like people, I was excited to see Coker in an expanded role to see, hey, could this be our new 1-2 punch in Carolina? And 4 to 6 weeks without him, we'll see. I see a lot of people in the chat saying JT Sanders is the one to get. Rubio, Jay Jackson, they're saying Sanders is the one. And Jimbo said history of quads with Jalen Coker. I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's what I guess Canales was talking about with the history of quad injuries with Coker. So that's why I wasn't sure if it was a new quad injury or he was just speaking on the previous quad injuries.
Damn.
But the sneaky player that, again, is he a great player? I wouldn't necessarily say so, but no one is going to have him on any of their best ball teams. David Moore. It's David Moore. Right? He's listed third on the depth chart. He's probably going to play. We have seen him actually be like reasonable in spurts. And this is a Jacksonville defense that is still one of the worst in the NFL. Like we talk about how bad the Saints are. We talk about how bad Cleveland is, but Cleveland actually has a good defense. Jacksonville's defense has been bad for ages and will continue to be dreadful. I don't care what they did defensively. Liam Cohen is not a defensive guy. I don't expect them to turn it around like that. So it's just, if Bryce Young can be the Bryce Young we saw last season and just get the ball to his pass catchers, it's maybe not the pass catchers we envisioned, but if David Moore is on waivers in some best ball leagues, like why not just pick him up? Because there's always a chance he could be the one that scores the touchdown.
Ugh. I just kind of want McMillan.
You do.
I hear
want
you.
McMillan, right?
I'm not.
But the thing is, Ray, do you want Legette? That's my question to you. Is that all offseason we've been fading Legette it for Coker's sake, right? Now Coker's not there. Do you really want to take the shot on Legette? Because you ain't starting him, and you don't even really want him. So you're kind of praying he has a good game, and maybe you could trade him. But I think David Moore is a sneaky guy that maybe he even is better than Legette, and Bryce likes to throw to him more than Legette. And that's the bet that you're really making if you're picking up David Moore.
Bruce is screaming Jimmy Horn Jr. I like it's just Jimmy Horn. He just copy paste, boom, 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 Control V, Alt V, just boom, 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 boom. Do I want Legette had 84 targets last year, right? At 84 targets.
I'm pretty sure in targets.
And down the street, I mean, he was getting. Go look at his just game log. The last like 5 games, they were.
How many of those he catch, right?
I'm not talking about the conversion rate. I'm just talking about the opportunity here. There was a lot there for Legette. He was a first-round pick last year. Step it up, dude. Like, step up.
It's not bad. So when Bryce was good,
Legette was getting targeted. He was getting targeted.
4, 6, 8, 8, 3, 9, 5.
9?
There's some. But the funny thing is that you know what he didn't do? He never went over 60 yards with all those targets.
I want McMillan.
Never went over 60 yards.
I want McMillan.
He did it once all season, and he had 80-plus targets. He only went over 60 yards once.
I want McMillan, okay?
Yeah.
I want McMillan. All right, Jay, we're going to go to break. We got to talk Jaylen Warren's contract and how that kills Caleb Johnson. Everybody thinks that Caleb Johnson is done. No, it does not. Caleb Johnson is no good anymore because they gave Jaylen Warren a 2-year extension. We've got to talk about some other players, some captains, some players who were not named captain on their team. Captain, my captain. We got to go talk about that a little bit. So hit the thumbs up button, like the stream, and we'll be right back after this break. Appreciate y'all being in the building. This is Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right here on the channel. Make sure you pull up, engage with the good people in the comments. I love our Wake Up fam, man. One day, JRich, we're gonna do like a meetup to where we're gonna be like,
oh, are we?
We're gonna do one. We'll give people the notice. I want to engage with some of the good people, man. My girl Joe's in the building, Jimbo, Patrick, Richie, what's going down with you? Flowosaurus in the building, JR Enterprise, Daniel Perry. Yeah, that break music, JRich, you did a good job with that one. I was vibing to that right there.
I'm not even gonna tell you the song because of your utter disrespect
of Canadian rap, of European
no Canadian
rap.
No Canadian.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that.
That's fine. You don't have to like it, but you like the song, right?
That was a good song. That was a good song. All right, Jay, let's talk about it. Jaylen Warren got paid some money. They gave the Pittsburgh Steelers gave Jaylen Warren a 2-year contract extension, which prompted fantasy football land to be like, Caleb Johnson is dust. JRich, the depth chart came out, and surprise, surprise, Caleb Johnson listed behind the aforementioned Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. So we got Caleb Johnson is the RB3 in Pittsburgh, right along with the RB3 in New England. Trevion Henderson, your boy, 2 RB3s going down over here, JRich. Jaylen Warren gets the extension. Thoughts here?
Anytime I see a player get an extension and there is no dollar figure attached, I do not care because it's clearly not notable enough to even bother attaching the dollar figure to it. Happy for Jaylen Warren, get your money, but not concerned at all. ESPN even has Caleb Johnson listed as a second stringer ahead of Kenneth Gainwell right now. So we'll see what actually happens on game day, but it's probably going to be Jaylen Warren and Caleb Johnson as far as I'm concerned.
And any concerns about Trevion Henderson's listing at third on the depth chart? Any concern there with that?
Oh, not really, because his role is so much different than the other 2 players on the team. I mean, I always go back to that video, Ray, because that video of Ramondre and Antonio Gibson talking about splitting carries, and everyone's like, yeah, y'all guys can split the backup carries, and we can let Trevion Henderson do the rest. He may be listed third on the depth chart, but his role is completely different from the other 2. You saw that in preseason. Whether it was Ramondre starting the preseason games or Antonio Gibson starting the preseason games when Ramondre wasn't playing, they always had the same role. Between the 20s, grinder, thumper, and Trevion was the pass-catching back with, a bit of red zone worked in there as well. He's not going to be a guy that probably carries the ball more than 10 times a game, but you expect him to see, 4 or 5 targets, maybe even more than that, depending on how much they want to utilize him. And I think that's where... How do you view that situation in Pittsburgh versus the situation in New England? Because to me, at least, it seems a little bit more clear that Henderson will be the pass-catching back versus Caleb Johnson. I don't know if it's as clear that he will be the primary rusher for the Steelers, but feel free to correct me there.
No, it's Henderson all day, every day, 7 days a week over Caleb Johnson. Like there's nothing to correct you. I don't care how many backfield A-gap touches Trevion Henderson's going to get. I believe he's going to be the running back used in the receiving game. He's the one that brings I did an article. It'll drop on Yahoo today, like my expectations for some of the rookies. And I was looking through the New England Patriots last year, Jay. They weren't a bad rushing team. Like overall, they were like a top 15 as far as like
in
yards
terms of total yardage.
Yeah, yards per game.
Because Ramondre was just very inefficient, I think, last year.
And that was the issue. Ramondre had 0. I think he was bottom 10 in 15-plus yard runs. He had 0 runs of like 20 miles an hour, no kind of juice whatsoever. And he was tied with Lamar Jackson, but he was the number 1 running back in fumbles last year with 6 fumbles.
Yeah, he fumbled a lot.
3 of them lost. Like there was just no juice there, even though the collective unit of New England, they weren't awful. They weren't bottom of the barrel. So bad efficiency. And this
3.9 a carry, lowest of his career.
Yeah, it was awful. Really bad. So let Ramondre do that. I've got 0 concern with Trevion Henderson and being listed as number 3 on the depth chart. Is
Stanley saying first-year head coach? Who
was that?
Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, he is first year. First year.
He's
in New
not
England.
A first-year head coach.
First year in New England. New scheme.
He knows what he's doing.
I think what he means is new scheme. First year in New England. You got to clear out the carnage that was left after Bill Belichick and Gerard Mayo. We'll see how it all plays out.
Do you know how many games he won his first season in Tennessee?
Was that Vrabel?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Probably.
He went he had winning seasons for his first 4 years as a head coach in Tennessee. He went 9-7 first 2 years, 11-5, and then 12-5. Then obviously we kind of knew the decline once Ryan Tannehill really started to go and was really poor. But like I think if I remember correctly, the first couple of seasons was with Marcus Mariota as quarterback.
Really?
I forget how long ago that was, but yeah, Mike Vrabel, man, good coach. Look at that, Ray. Your boy, Jackson Dart, listed as number 2 on the Giants depth chart behind Russell Wilson. You know, Ray, I had a dream last night, and maybe it's just because I like Jackson Dart. I think he's a fun player, good to root for. But wouldn't it be kind of funny, like in an ironic way, if Russell Wilson ran out of the tunnel with an American flag and then got hurt like Aaron Rodgers did, paving the way for Jackson Dart to be the starting quarterback all season? Why not?
Okay, so we talked about this quite a bit. Like, when does Dart play? And everybody knows the Giants don't get a bye until week 14. Their schedule is just
terrible.
It's brutal.
It's
right?
It's awful.
It's a brutal schedule. How many games, JRich? I know we would like for him to sit all year, not play at all, right? Just let Russ and Jameis do all of this. Dayball is probably not going to be afforded that opportunity. Like, if he sits all year, doesn't play, and the Giants stink it up, I don't think Dayball is secure for Dart's got to get in, and he's going to get in. For sure. When does it happen? Predict it right now. It's going to happen before week 14. Jackson Dart is going to be on the field for the football Giants. He's going to be their starting quarterback before we hit the bye, Jay. I do not believe there's any world in which Russ can hold him off for 14 weeks. I just don't think that's happening. We're going to see Dart sooner rather than later. He was always one of the best values in rookie drafts. I even think in seasonal leagues, when you're talking about a quarterback who possesses some of the skill set that can compensate for deficiencies or learning curve throwing the ball, he can run. He ain't Lamar. Yeah. He's not no damn Cam Newton. He's more Jalen Hurts in rushing than he is like Lamar Jackson, right? Like, he can pick up chunk yards, but he can do those things. Like, I think this could be a mini version of what we saw out of Drake May to a degree. What we saw, I think Dart, if he plays, he's going to score fantasy points. So where are you at? When does he play? He's the QB2 right now for the Giants.
So my prediction, it's going to be probably week 5 or week 9 would be my 2 spots. We've talked about the entrance of the season. He's not going to obviously start probably too early. Washington, Dallas on the road, probably not going to start those games. Kansas City and the Chargers. Maybe the Chargers game. I feel like they're not going to put him in for that one. But then they have the Saints on the road as their only break in the schedule. Week 5, maybe you want to kind of kick off his career at New Orleans in week 5. If he doesn't play in that game, Philly, at Denver, at Philly. Hell no, I don't care if we're 0-7. We're not starting him at Denver, at Philly. He's literally going to get destroyed, at which point you get at home against San Fran in week 9. I think that is your next opportunity to insert him into the lineup. Now, the only thing I don't know is, so Thursday Night Football, okay, good. So there's no Thursday in the middle there to where, so maybe there's an outside shot for week 7, Ray, because they have Thursday versus Philly at home, and then all the way to Sunday at Denver. So a slightly extended break there from week 6 to week 7. But my prediction would be week 5 or week 9 for Jackson Dart.
Man, the Jackson Dart hate in the chat is palpable, JRich. They do not like him. They do not. What
do you got to lose, people? This is the question for the chat here.
They do not like that Jackson Dart.
What do we have to lose? Do you really want to watch Russ?
They said your fantasy league is what they have to lose, JRich.
Do you really want to watch Russ stink it up for like the whole season, or all, like you said, all the way till week 15? I don't want to see that. I don't. So, well, yes, maybe you don't think Jackson Dart's ready. You don't think he's a good quarterback. I just would rather see Jackson Dart play than see Russell Wilson play, personally. Can we at least get on board with we want to see Dart play regardless of the outcome?
Yes, yeah. I think that's leveled and measured. I agree. I don't think people... Yeah. Sean's saying disrespect the Niners.
It's not disrespect. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's at home, and it's not against Philly on the road or at Denver on the road. Like, that's just... I don't want to start my rookie quarterback at Denver or at Philly. Like, no disrespect to the 49ers, but I think Philly and Denver on the road are significantly tougher matchups for a rookie quarterback than at home against Philly or at home against San Francisco.
It's a who set the Giants schedule, man? Who? And
New York did, right?
I agree. I agree with Rubio. The Giants defense, I think they're going to
see.
I think they're going to be solid. I think defensively,
they should be good.
That front four, even projecting what Abdul Carter could be, when you got Lawrence, you got Brian Burns, you've got Dexter Lawrence is top 2 defensive tackle in the NFL?
Yeah,
probably. Top 3 at worst.
Jones, right?
At worst, top 2, top 3. You got Brian Burns. He's a top 10 edge rusher. You got Abdul Carter. You got Kayvon Thibodeau being able to get freed. I really think that defensively, this line is going to help the Giants out. I do not have them projected as being one of the worst teams, the worst team in the NFL. I don't think that's going to be the Giants this year. I don't believe that will be the Giants this year. I think
it's going to depend on how good Javon Holland is for this team on the back end, because he's the guy that could really make a big difference for this team, being that free safety back there that really helps cover up for the new corners and the new additions, allows that pass rush to really get home and have the time to get home. I'm excited to see how he looks, because like we talk about it all the time in Miami, how they got Minkah to replace Javon Holland, but like Javon Holland was a massive part of why they were even decent defensively. And so now seeing him on the Giants, so we'll see how they deploy him, how Deonte Banks looks, Drew Phillips, then obviously the addition of Paulson Adebo probably to be their number 1 corner will be interesting, because he is hurt a lot. But for week 1, he's healthy, and this pass rush should be very, very good.
Jay, one of the teams that people think could be one of the worst in the NFL this year, and again, I'm not all the way there yet. I think the panic on the defensive side of the ball is absolutely warranted, but offensively, I'm just not out on this team. I'm not out on the Miami Dolphins. And Mike McDaniel was talking about rookie running back Ollie Gordon, and Mike McDaniel said, and I quote, "I've seen a lot of growth. That's one of the guys that took advantage of an inopportune health situation and position, and that opportunity allowed him to succeed." So, big Ollie, JRich. The Miami Dolphins open up week 1 against the Indianapolis Colts, JRich. The Indianapolis Colts, who, I don't know if you know the stat, Jay, they have not won. They have not won a week 1 game in 11 years. They have not won
It's just a crazy stat.
Week 1 game since 2014. That game was quarterbacked by Andrew Luck in the Oakland Raiders wide receiver turned quarterback Terrell Pryor. That is the last time the Colts have opened up an NFL season with a dub. They take on the Dolphins in this matchup, who, Jay, if you look at Tyreek Hill, 2023 and 2024. 2023, I believe he had 215 yards in week 1. Last year, he had $130 in week 1. This Colts defense was bottom of the barrel across the board defensively last year. If there were ever a time to YOLO start a backup rookie running back in an environment in which a lot of fantasy points can be scored, tell me why it's not Miami versus Indy. How are you not firing up all your Dolphins versus the Colts this week? How?
Well, because while the Colts defense isn't great, for some reason they always show up in week 1. Like, I forget who they played last year, but didn't they play the Texans last year? And CeeDee Stroud could barely throw the ball.
And they lost.
They lost, but how bad does CeeDee Stroud look in that game? Right? And I don't think it's just because the offensive line was bad, because Joe Mixon was pretty good early in the season. And so it's like, I agree with you that the Colts are bad, but I don't know if they're so bad that I'm like, fire up Tua, fire up Ollie, fire up Waddle. Like, you're probably playing Tyreek anyways because you drafted him so high. But is there better options than some of these guys? I think I hear you on the sake of are they really going to run Achan up the A-gap from the 2-yard line knowing he's dealing with an injury? Probably not. But are you kind of touchdown or bust with Ollie in week 1? I'd say so. So if that's worth the risk, would you put him as, an RB4? Like a flex player with some upside if he can score a touchdown, or like you said, maybe even 2 touchdowns. But this is a team that's probably still going to throw in the red zone. Even if Achan is banged up, they'll probably just rely on Tua. He is accurate. He is decisive. And the pass rush we'll see how it looks for Indy this season. But it's definitely interesting to think about how this is.
I'm just scrolling up, man.
I'm sorry. that got me too good. But yeah, like, do you think, so the question to you is, do you think that Miami can put up 30 points in this game? Because I don't think they can. I think they can allow 30 points. I don't know if they're going to put up 30 points.
Where's my damn ticker at, man? Where's the ticker? What's the over under in that game? It's got to be pretty. It's got to be like
47 and a half.
47 and a half?
And the Colts are favored by 1.5. Because, Ray, let's be honest.
Dude.
How many yards is Jonathan Taylor going to run for against this defense?
Probably a lot.
He's locked in for 100. Like, if they give him 20 carries, and just even, I think it was yesterday or the day before, Shane Steichen is talking about how they're going to go as far as Jonathan Taylor takes them, because he is the engine of their offense, right? So, like, he's probably going to have 100 yards in this game, and you can get, plus 180.
Let me check if Achan practiced. Did he actually practice? Let me look. Let me go to Achan. Let me just see.
He's questionable right now.
Let me see if Achan.
He will practice and remain on track for Sunday's regular season. Yeah, that was on Tuesday at the presser.
Yeah, I saw that, but I think I saw that he was there.
It'd be today, though, he'd practice, because today would be the first practice day for this week.
So somebody an hour ago, if we don't hear anything about Devon Achan practicing today or tomorrow, we can only assume he's not and will not play this weekend. The silence is telling the story, which he is not healthy.
Yeah. I think he's very much in doubt to play, because it'll depend on what happens today, because today he needs to get to walkthroughs. At least walkthroughs today. Tomorrow, maybe he practices. Maybe it's more walkthroughs again tomorrow. And then Friday, he's got to practice, right? So we won't know until Friday whether he's probably going to play or be out. But for now, I think he's trending towards playing, but he needs to practice.
We're not panic metering this thing right now, but are you slightly concerned?
If I had him on teams, I would be concerned for sure. I'd be concerned. I think he's going to play, like currently, but he needs to practice, right? Because we know if he doesn't practice Friday, he ain't playing. That's just how the NFL is.
Richie said no. Him and Reek worked on the sideline yesterday, so
which is fine for Tuesdays. Working on the side is no big deal. That's nothing.
Okay,
right? It's today, tomorrow, and more importantly, Friday. We need to see him practice. So at least on Friday, I mean, we can go over practice reports on Friday and talk about Achan to see what he did throughout the week. But today, I think you should be mildly concerned if you have him in some redraft leagues. Like, have Ollie, right, as a player who can fill in there, or have another guy that can fill in if you have Achan, because there is a chance he doesn't play for sure. There's a chance.
Might start Ollie over Brees this week.
Who do they have this week?
Who, the Jets, the Steelers.
Oh yeah, easy.
What? Ollie over Brees? Stop it.
Easy.
Stop.
Easy. Ray, do you really really want to play that game with this team?
Bro, Brees is gonna what people act like Brees ain't gonna play.
What do you think Brees Hall's over under is?
Probably 46.5 yards.
It's 44.5.
I mean,
that's not good, man. That's
all
not
the
good.
projections are
it's
low.
The same. It's not about the projection. It's just about baseline relative to other players. Do you know what Jaylen Warren's over under is?
31.5 yards.
54.5.
Get the hell out of here, man.
54.5 rushing yards.
Get the hell out of here.
That's what it is. Again, that's not everywhere. I'm looking at DK right now. But you got Braylon Allen at 28.5, Justin Fields at 43.5. Now, Justin Fields at 43.5.
So hold on.
Give me that.
Fields 43, Braylon Allen what?
28.5.
28, and then Brees.
Juice to the over, too.
I like Braylon Allen.
But you should like Braylon Allen more than Brees Hall. But the problem is that you don't start Braylon Allen ahead of Brees Hall. You just don't do that. That's not smart. That's just really wish casting. So the over-under right now for Brees Hall carries is 11.5, but it is due to the over. If he can get to 15, I'm fine with it. But I wouldn't say I'm confident in that.
I just want to know, is Achan okay? Like that's all. And it's the calf injury. I just need people are saying Achan is fine. First of all, he's not fine. Like, he's not fine. He is confirmed dealing with an injury. Like, he is hurt. He is not fine. Will it be okay? We'll see. I think Ollie Gordon is very much in play as a flex option this week. I'm not starting him over freaking Breece Hall. I'm not doing that, Jay. What else NFL-wise do we have, or can we pivot and talk a little bit of the overhyped college players? What else do we have?
Oh, you want to talk about Arch? Can we please just toot our own horn here for a second? Maybe not you as much, because you did pivot, and so you have to apologize to the people because you pivoted, but now you're back, and I'm glad you're back, and I'm thankful that you're back.
I pivoted what?
You pivoted off of Garrett Nussmeier as QB1.
No, I didn't.
Well,
no, I
you
didn't.
did.
No, I didn't. When?
You absolutely
did. Who did I say was one?
You said you thought Cade Klubnik going into the season was QB1. You did say that.
That was in fucking May. But I just did a video. The video on the channel from before the season, Garrett Nussmeier was one. And Mateer was two.
I don't think so.
I'm 100. What do you mean you don't think? I'm telling you. Go look on YouTube right now. Garrett Nussmeier is one. I didn't pivot. So I don't know what that has to do with Arch Manning, but go ahead and continue.
Well, it was more so that Nussmeier is QB1. And he's now the favorite to go number one overall. Arch Manning obviously fell down the boards, didn't look great. People talked about how good the defense was for Ohio State. What do you think is going to come for Arch Manning this season? Because while people are kind of shitting on him now, I do think he will play much better when he's not facing off against this Ohio State defense.
Let me tell you this, man. Let me say this, man. Let me say this. Thank you, Jason. I had Klubnik at 3. I did not have Klubnik at 1. I had Klubnik at 3, and he's still in, even though he didn't play well, Clemson. Here's my problem with some of the big name people. And it's not that we get everything right, but I do try to, you can ask me, I'm sitting there all Saturday, college football. I got the laptop on my chair. I'm just in heaven watching college football. One of the leading authorities in the college football world, right? Whether we like him or not, one of the people who is paid a lot of money to discuss college football, to rank these guys, Paul Feinbaum. He went on a long-winded diatribe about how Arch was generational, how they were going to beat the brakes off of Ohio State, that this is the guy that should be viewed as the number 1 pick in the 26th draft. Got Field Yates putting him number 1 overall in mock drafts, all this stuff around Arch Manning. Then he goes out there and he stinks it up. 17 completions, dirt in the ball, inaccurate, right? Just looked like a rookie quarterback out there playing against the defending national champs. Paul Feinbaum goes on national TV the following Monday after Arch stinks it up. They replay him talking about Arch Manning. And what he says is this, JRich, and I'm not making it up, I'm not embellishing it. You know, the only reason that I said he was generational and thought he would be the number 1 pick is because everybody else was talking about him. So I just kind of, that's what he said. Like, these are people that, and what happens is us as the consumer, right? We're eating this up. Oh, Field Yates has him high. All these people are talking. And then you listen to his reason for why he talked. It wasn't because he watched the tape. It wasn't because he watched the game versus Louisiana Monroe. It wasn't because he was down in Austin watching the practices and his own everybody else was saying it, so fuck it, I just said it too. And I'm just like,
really?
What am I doing? Why am I even watching this shit? Let me just get up here and just spew whatever. I always tell folks, man, be mindful of the content you consume, right? Be this hive mind echo chamber of just, if one person says it, be original, have something authentic, but to go on there and just say, well, the only reason I said he was generational and what he said was the best college quarterback since Tim Tebow. You know how many great college quarterbacks have come post Tim Tebow?
Better than Tim Tebow?
Yeah. It's just a shame, man. I'll say, whether it's this show, whether it's another college show, find somewhere else. Like, people, don't listen to that bullcrap, man. And there are a lot of talented people at some of these big networks that do the work, that put in the work.
Well, I think
it's shit like that is just frustrating, dude.
At ESPN, Matt Miller said that Arch Manning should not be on anyone's 2026 draft boards. Very outspoken about it. Said that he's not putting Arch Manning on a draft board because he is probably not declaring for the draft. And Jordan Reed would probably echo the same sentiment. Who are the draft analysts at ESPN, but they're not the ones talking about these guys. It's kind of insane. But I do think Arch will be better than he showed.
Yeah.
And he's going to have better games than this. He's not going to face off against Ohio State defense every single week, but he is absolutely not going to be the number 1 overall pick at all, because even at some odds boards now, Cade Klubnik is still behind Arch Manning.
Yeah.
And Cade Klubnik has a lot of good games ahead of him as well.
Yeah, Kevin said, he said everything is funneling people into casual thoughts so they make their bets on DraftKings. It's really disgusting. You got to have an independent thought and not be a sheep. I mean, this dude was the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman.
It's crazy.
The house always wins, and people ate it up, and now they're ripping the kid for a poor performance versus the defendant. He didn't play well, right? I don't think
it's not him pumping himself up to be the Heisman finalist or Heisman Trophy winner.
It's the Feinbaums of the world. It's the ESPNs. It's the people that just literally, he said, I just said it because everybody else was saying it. Go look it up.
Crazy.
It was on First Take Week. I just said it because everybody else was saying it, so I just said the same damn thing and put my name and reputation and whatever out there, and, I was wrong. Crazy, man. Crazy shit, dude. Crazy, yeah. Luke said, house straight stealing from people.
Yeah, those Arch Manning bets, they ain't cashing.
I'll just say this. If you have not watched the college recap video, check it out. I'll be doing that every single week. I think today, if all things work out right, Damian Parson and I are also going to talk a little college ball on here on the channel at 1 p.m. Central Time. So we should be back and having DP on to talk a little ball. But a lot of quarterbacks look really good. Like, you should be excited about the 26 class. Check out the Stock Watch video. We've got some shorts as well. Jordan Tyson, wide receiver 1, looked incredible. Drew Aller from Penn State. I was very outspoken against Drew Aller coming out last year. I was like, hey, man, this dude needs to go back. Like, he needs to go back. I know it was against Nevada, but he looked really good. He looked in command of the offense. All the arm strength, all that shit is there. Aller looked good. Sam Levitt was fun. Klubnik versus Nussmeier on Saturday night was a good watch. Game. Some of the top, the weak spot in 2026 right now, JRich, is the RBs. That's the spot. Looking at the class as a whole, Jeremiah Love was on a milk carton. I don't know why Notre Dame only gave him 4 carries through 4 touches in the first half. Insane to me. He was on a milk carton. Mekhi Hughes didn't play for Oregon. He was bench punished. I don't know what was going on there. Looked like Jonah Coleman and Justice Haynes were the best 2 draft eligible running backs coming out of week 1. I think that's probably the tight end class is good. Eli Stowers, you got Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon. Tight end class is good. I think the receiver class is promising. And then we got a bunch of quarterbacks this year.
QB's looking
strong. QBs are it's a better crop than we just had in 2025. It's a better crop of quarterbacks in college football than we just had in 2025 for sure. Let me go to chat to see what else we got before we get out of here. Aller finally has a wide receiver. Yeah, they got Hudson from USC. So Aller looked good. Yeah, Aller looked good. Elick Ailman or JRich, some NFL stuff listed as a starter. You want some?
We'll see.
Elick?
We'll see, man. Sure.
Who do the Titans play week 1? Is it Tampa? Did I play Tampa Bay?
No, Tampa plays the Falcons week 1.
Why the hell did I think Tennessee played Tampa? Hey, Jason, I'm going to just say this, Jason. I'm not going to say who. The star rating is some BS, man. If you know the right people and you got the right amount of cash, you can buy you a star. The 5-star stuff is just, some of them, yes. So, Bryce Underwood looks like a 5-star. Bryce Underwood, I don't give a damn if they played Southern Waxahachie State. His command of the offense, he looked like a 5-star kid, right? Oklahoma, John Mateer versus Bryce Underwood in Michigan. Going to be a good matchup. But yeah, the 5-star stuff, man, get on the field and play, Jason. You know what I'm saying? Get on the field, ball out. Let me see what you got. Who do the Titans got, JRich? I'm all over the place. Who do the Titans got?
They're on the road against one of our favorite teams in the NFL right now.
Who?
The Denver Broncos. You starting that Calvin Ridley, right? Against your 2024 Defensive Player of the Year, number 10 on the NFL Top 100?
Matt Harmon said no. Matt Harmon said no. I asked him, I was like, hey, do you start your studs this week? And he was like, yeah, I start my studs, but Calvin Ridley is not the definition of a stud. We're not going to start Ridley in week 1, Jay.
That is rough.
Anything? Yeah.
That
Underwood.
is rough.
Underwood looked freaking good. He looked really good. Anything else, Jay, before we get the hell out of here?
No, I think that's it, man. I'm just glad that TCU waxed Bill. That was fun.
Hit the music, man.
Horned Frogs got their revenge, Ray, after they put him against Colorado a few years ago for Deion's debut.
Isn't it funny? Week 1, Shador goes out there and does work, right? Ain't no bitch, just week 1. These other quarterbacks go out there and shit the bed. It's just week 1. Give them time.
Yeah, you know how it is.
We appreciate y'all. We did have one super chat in the building from JR. Wanted to know, JRich, CeeDee Lamb, Travion Henderson, Emeka Puka, Roma Dunze, RJ Harvey, and Bill Dynasty PPR Superflex. Lamb and Hendo or Ibuka, Odunze, RJ Harvey. Who are you taking?
I think I'm taking Lamb and Hendo. That's tough, though. That's a good package for those two.
Yeah. I'm
taking Lamb and Hendo side all day. I think you have to.
I
like it's a good package of players.
I like that. If I want to beans that thing up, Ibuka, Odunze, RJ Harvey, and Bill, but I would take Lamb and Hendo as well. We appreciate y'all being in the building today for the show. Friday, make sure you pull up. We'll talk college football. We'll talk NFL picks and all that other good stuff. Make sure you check out the content on the channel. Hit the thumbs up button. Like, comment, subscribe. Enjoy Thursday night football. Tomorrow, Cowboys and Eagles.
Yes,
and then wake y'all ass up on Friday for a recap of that game. We appreciate y'all being in the building. Thank y'all, and we'll see you on Friday. We out. Peace.